Good morning, everyone. The webinar will start in a few minutes as we would like to allow all registered participants to join. Thank you for your patience. Okay, it's 10:05. Let's start. Good morning, everyone. We are glad to welcome you to this information webinar about the IPA4SME action. My name is Razami Couturier, and I am project manager at GoPacom, a communications agency based in Brussels that is partner in the consortium. Today, our webinar presenter will be Marco Graziado from CARSA, which is the IPA4SME consortium leader. Throughout the webinar, you can write any questions in the GoToWebinar question box. All the questions will be addressed at the end of the presentations, so please feel free to use this question box. Regarding any other specific questions, these will be followed up individually by email by the IPA4SME Coordination Center. Enjoy the webinar, and I leave the floor to Marco.
Thank you very much, Razami, for this nice presentation, and good morning to everybody, and welcome to this information webinar that CARSA, together with GoPacom, have organized with the aim of guiding you through the application process. As Rasami said, my name is Marco Giaddio. As you can understand from my strong accent, I am Italian, and I am an innovation consultant working for CARSA, based in Bilbao. And as I said before, it's a very pleasure to be here today with you. And the aim of this webinar is to explain how correctly apply, but I'm going also to provide you with general information on the IPA4SME program, and I will also provide you some information of the requirement necessary to receive the reimbursement in case you will be chosen as beneficiary. So for today's presentation, I will use this PowerPoint presentation, in which at the end I will also going to show you, to talk with you about the frequent asked questions we received during the last year of IPA4SME program. And then at the end of the presentation, I will go to take care about your questions. So IPA4SME program is a program so is the aim of this program is to provide you financial and expert support for the valorization and protection of the intellectual properties. Can benefit from this program all the SME who received a seal of excellence from the Horizon 2020 SME Instrument Program. And a beneficiary can receive a maximum of euro 50,000 of financial support. So the idea of this program is that the European Commission strongly believes that the protection of the intellectual property is crucial for promoting innovation and for improving, let's say, your competitiveness within Europe. So in order to help you within this program, basically we offer financial and expert support aimed at valorizing and protecting your IP. So in order to support you, IPA4SME offer the following service. The first service is the IP pre-diagnostic service, in which basically this service is focused on providing a comprehensive IP pre-diagnostic service in order to boost your capabilities and competencies. Let's say that we consider this service as a great opportunity for you to count on a qualified expert in the field of intellectual property, but also the business strategy to exploit the intellectual property. And the scope of the expert is to identify together with you both advantages and potential opportunities for in using the intellectual properties in order to develop your businesses. So thanks to this service, the beneficiary have the opportunity to identify their main limitation and areas of development in order, as I said before, to strengthen your competencies in the field always of intellectual properties. Together with the IP pre-diagnostic service that, as you can read, is totally free of charge and is only limited to one application per SME, we also offer two co-financing services. The first one is called the IPO fee reimbursement, also renamed Service 2. And basically, within this service, we're providing support, economic support, to cover the 75% of the SME patent application fees before the European Patent Office. So within this service, basically, we cover the cost associated to register a patent through the IPO, we cover the 75% of the cost with a limit of euro 2,500 euro per patent application. So this service is limited to 5 applications for SME. Along with this service too, there is a third service called the IP attorney fee reimbursement, in which the main scope is to offer you financial support for hiring an IP patent attorney for the purpose of preparing the filing for a European patent, but we cover the cost for hiring an IP patent attorney even if you decide to discontinue your initial idea to register your patent application. For each patent application, basically we cover the 50% of the patent attorney cost up to a maximum of euro 2,000 per patent application. There is no limit to the number of applications for this service, but remember that each application for both two co-financing service must be associated always to a unique patent application process. So, as I said before, can participate to this program only the SME who received a seal of excellence within the program Horizon 2020. SME. But together with this requirement, please keep in mind that in order to be eligible to any of the 3 support actions, applicant SME must fulfill the following requirements. So first of all, it's really important that, as I said 2 times, be an holder of a seal of excellence. But please keep in mind that the seal of excellence must then be awarded to the SME in the 3 years prior to the call cutoff date, which namely means that since this cutoff call will be closed the 17th of November, we can accept all the invoices dated, the seal of excellence received after the 17th November 2017, but not prior to this date. So please keep in mind that the seal of excellence must be awarded in the 3 years prior to the call cutoff date. Then, to be eligible, you must meet the criteria to be considered a small medium enterprise by the European Commission, which means employ fewer than 250 persons, have an annual turnover that is not exceeding 50 million of euro, and or an annual balance sheet total not exceeding 43 millions of euro. Then, to be eligible, are eligible to this program all the SME located in country recognized by the European Commission as COSME country, which means that, for example, SME located in country such as Israel, Norway, unfortunately, these SME, they cannot participate since their country, they are not considered a COSME country. Then, as regard to only the IP pre-diagnostic service, can participate only the SME incorporated in one of the following countries. So please keep in mind that only the SME located in countries like Austria, Denmark, France, Germany, Greece, Ireland, Italy, Latvia, Netherlands, Spain, and Sweden can participate to the IP pre-diagnostic service. Instead, all the rest of the COSME country can participate and benefit from service 2 and service 3 without problems. And then, last but not least, it's really important that to be eligible, the SME should not be supported by Horizon 2020 SME Instrument Phase 2. That is also known as EIC Accelerator Pilot. So I will repeat the requirements to be eligible because I think it's the most important part of this presentation. And again, let's start again. So are eligible all SME who are holder of a seal of excellence received in the context of Horizon 2020 SME instrument. But it is important that the seal of excellence have been awarded in the 3 years prior to the call. So again, we cannot accept seal of excellence dated prior the 17th November of 2017. Then it's important that SME should meet all the criteria to be considered by the European Commission as a small and medium enterprise, can participate only the countries recognized as COSME country. Then to be eligible within IP Diagnostic Service are eligible only the SME located in the following countries. And then to be eligible, you should not be supported by the Horizon 2020 SME Instrument Phase 2. Please keep in mind that the limitation is only regarding Horizon 2020 SME Instrument Phase 2 and not 1. So, as you can see in this slide, the application process consists of 3 main steps. My recommendation for you as an applicant is to start the application process in advance, which means registering yourself and creating an account in order to familiarize with the electronic submission system platform. It is a platform that basically we created in order to help you with the registration, but also with the application process. And in case you will be selected with as beneficiary, you will use this platform also to benefit from the IP4SME support services. For this reason, I recommend you to start the process of registering you as soon as possible in order to familiarize with the EMS. So for me, as regards to the application steps, the most important is step number 2. So once registered, SME must provide all the information requested in the application form. Otherwise, the platform will not allow you the submission. Generally speaking, the platform is going to ask you general information as regards to your company. Please keep in mind that we don't need the exact number because the majority of the time the number that you are providing us are numbers that we must collect for statistical analysis. But what is really important to receive from you is the seal of excellence certificate that you are awarded in the context of Horizon 2020 SME instrument, together with the evaluation summary report corresponding to the proposal awarded with the seal of excellence. So again, during the application step, you have to answer to some questions. Usually are questions regarding general information about your company. And again, we don't need to collect the exact number or the exact information because for us, this kind of information are more relevant for statistical analysis. So it's not mandatory to receive the correct number. But what is really important from you is to receive the seal of excellence together with the evaluation summary. So once the call will be closed, we will start to evaluate your seal of excellence, your evaluation summary report, and other information. So all the applicants that meet the eligibility criteria will be considered in the evaluation and selection process. So then the eligible ones will be ranked following the criteria that I'm going to explain you now. And but please keep in mind that the eligibility criteria also depending on the corresponding IPA4SME funds allocated for the call. So we are going to evaluate each seal of excellence, and then each candidate will be ranked according to the points received in the Horizon 2020 SME instrument report that corresponds to the applicant awarded with the aforementioned seal of excellence. Then, after the ranking, the support action will be awarded to the highest in rank until the planner budget is exhausted. Again, once we collected your documentation, once we certified that you are eligible to participate in this program, what we basically do is to rank your company according to the points received in the evaluation summary report. And then the support option will be awarded to the highest in rank until the panel budget is exhausted. As regard to this last point, please keep in mind that for each cutoff call, we usually allocate the same budget for both service 2 and service 3. But as explained you before, since within the service 2, we offer a total reimbursement of euro 2,500 compared to the 2,000 euro that we offer within service 3, can happen that some companies may be eligible for both service 2 and service 3, but they will award only service 3 and not service 2. So the call opened the 1st of October, and the deadline to provide us the documentation to register, submit an application is set on the next November 17th. So please, my recommendation is try to start the registration as soon as possible, because in case you are facing a problem, you will have the time to contact us, and we will have the time to answer you and to provide you all the information in order to fix the problem. You can follow us on channel like Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Please take note that the IPA4SME Coordination Center has put at the disposal of potential applicants, but also future beneficiaries, the following email. You can contact us through course@IPA4SME.eu, and we use the channel especially for the SME involved in the submission of application, but also in case you will become a beneficiary. But you can contact us also through helpdesk@IPA4SME.eu. Please keep in mind that usually we try to do our best in order to answer you within 24 or 48 hours. But can happen sometimes that we receive a dozen of emails, and maybe we are not in time to answering you as soon as possible. But again, we are trying to do our best in order to answer to all the email as soon as possible. So as I explained you before, I'm going now to explain you something about the frequently asked questions we received during the first year of IPA4SME program. So question number 1, through having a seal of excellence, a small medium enterprise, one later on a Horizon 2020 SME instrument project. Will this company still be eligible for IPA4SME support? As I explained you before, one of the requirements to be eligible is that are eligible to receive financial support or the IP diagnostic service within the IPA4SME program only the SME who never received the financing for an Horizon 2020 SME instrument phase 2 project. So all these SME which receive the financing support within Horizon 2020 SME instrument phase 2 project are not eligible. However, there are not such restrictions for SME who received funding within phase 1. Question number 2. We have a seal of excellence filled a patent already. Can we be a beneficiary to receive reimbursement from IPA4SME if we already filled a patent, or the patent submission date should be after the application at IPA4SME? This is a really important point, but once you are selected as beneficiary, we can accept and validate only the invoices dated after, only invoices issued after the date of the communication of award. Which means that if, for example, during this cutoff, we're going to close the cutoff call the 17th of November, usually applicants need to wait no more than 10-15 days before to receive the communication of award. So let's say that, for example, the 1st of December, you will know if you are selected or not. So the 1st of December, you will receive an email from the coordination center in which information about the services awarded are included. So from that day, we consider that day, the 1st of December, has the communication of award. So we can accept and validate only the invoices that are issued after the 1st of December. So if a patent has already been filled, let's say that is not, would not be eligible. Then question number 3. I don't remember if I have a seal of excellence or I cannot find it. What can I do? Every company that has submitted the proposal to the Horizon 2020 SME Instrument Program should be able to check if they awarded a seal of excellence by logging in the participation portal and then going to my proposal. Once here, click on follow up under the action button. You will access to a new pages in which you can click on process documentation, and here you will find the seal of excellence along with the evaluation summary report. In case you are not finding anything, any documents, it means that you never awarded the seal of excellence. Please keep in mind that the seal of excellence is awarded to SME, small medium enterprise, which pass the threshold score of 13, but do not receive any financing. Please keep in mind that at the end of this webinar, Rasami and Gopa will send you an email in which in the email are collecting the most important information about the application process. And within this email, we are going also to provide you the guide for application, guide for applicants, along with this presentation. And we are also going to provide you information as regard to the links that you have to click and all the process that you have to follow in order to collect the seal of excellence along with the evaluation summary report. So question number 4, once a company has submitted an IPA4SME application, what process does it have to follow if selected for support. So the process depends on the services you have been awarded. So as regard to for service 1, that is the IP diagnostic service, Task Coordination Center, we will facilitate the contact between the company and the expert, the national expert, as soon as the selection process has been completed. So again, for service 1, as Coordination Center, we will facilitate the first contact between the national expert and the SMA. Once done it, together with the national expert, you have to agree on a possible date in which you can complete the IP diagnostic service. That is done through an interview that you can schedule a face-by-face, or you can schedule also a virtually meeting. And then at the end of the IP diagnostic interview, the expert is going to provide you a confidential report, which clearly identify which are the main opportunities and limitations to foster your intellectual property advantage and exploit the intellectual property benefits. As regard to service 2 and service 3, indeed, the reimbursement will be granted on a case-by-case basis. So what we basically do as regard to service 2 and service 3 is that once the company is selected, what this company should do is to provide us within 4 months documentation in order to activate service 2 and service 3. Because what's happened basically is that being awarded with service 2 and service 3 does not mean that service 2 and service 3 is activated. So in case you are selected as beneficiary for receiving service 2 and service 3, please keep in mind that you will have 4 months to activate at least one of the 2 services. And to activate the service, you must basically provide us with an invoice together with the corresponding proof of payment. Then question number 5. Is there any time limitation for justifying EPO and IPA4SME fee after SME has been selected for support under IPA4SME? So I was trying to explain you before, in the event that SME has been awarded for service 2 and or service 3, the beneficiary will have 4 months to activate the support service. Activate the support service means to provide us with an invoice together with the corresponding proof of payment, and both documentation must meet specific requirements. But once you provide this document, in case we validated them, we can consider the service as active, and once activated, the small medium enterprise will have up to the end of the IPA4SME program to present invoices relating to IP patent attorney fee or EPO patent application fee. Please keep in mind that the deadline for final request of reimbursement is set for December 31, 2021. So again, once activated, you will have until the end of 31 December 2021 to provide us documentation for claim a second payment reimbursement. So question number 6, I'm already working with an patent attorney. Are his or cost reimbursable? This is another requirement that we are looking for in cases you are selected as a beneficiary. Please keep in mind that especially for service 3 are eligible all the invoices that are issued by an IP patent attorney who is entitled to act before the EPO. So again, for IP patent fee, which means service fee, to be reimbursed, the person issuing the invoice must be a professional entitled to act before the EPO, who has been hired by the small medium enterprise for the purpose of preparing the filing of a European patent. A list of the eligible IPA patent attorney can be found following the below link. But don't be worried, because according to our knowledge, we can assure you that at least 95% of the attorney company, at least one person working for this company, at least one person is entitled to act before the EPO. So it's not that difficult to find people entitled to act before the EPO. But again, it's important that the invoice is issued by a professional entitled to act before the EPO, European Patent Office. Then question number 7. All the types of patent eligible to be subject of IPA4SME support, unfortunately not. Please keep in mind that our support exclusively covers European patent registration processes and cost of service in the scope of filing a EPO patent application, which means that we are not going to consider eligible invoices which contain costs for protecting your intellectual property in countries like USA, China, Canadian, and so on. So again, please keep in mind that our support exclusively covers European patent registration process. Then, as regard to service 2, that is the service for providing you financial contribution in order to cover the EPO fee, keep in mind that not all the EPO fee are eligible to be reimbursed, but only the fee that you can see at the end of this slide. So basically, within IPA4SME program, we can cover only EPO 001, 002, 5, 6, 7, and 33. Only the following EPO are considered to be eligible. This is as regards to service 2. But again, please keep in mind that all European patent registration process can be considered eligible. So also in case you are contacting a patent attorney in the scope of filing a patent, also in this case, the patent should be associated to a EPO patent application, but can be also related, associated to a PCT patent application, but also in this case, the PCT patent application should be always, the registration should be done always through the European Patent Office. So question number 8, how does the IP diagnostic service process look like? What is expected from the SME in order to enable a complete service? So, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, the IP diagnostic service, also renamed Service 1, provides expert analysis of your existing technology knowledge assets, along with a customized IP business strategy, and the service is totally free of charge. So a designed IP expert coming from the company country of origin will run together with the SME an in situ analysis, examining the company current assets in order to elaborate a detailed confidential report that he or she must validate it together with you. In general terms, this service will entail one visit to the company, but as I said before, due to the outbreak of the virus, nowadays the beneficiary can agree with the expert to conduct the interview virtually. And please keep in mind that this is already happening during the previous cutoff, and the majority of the beneficiary, they were really satisfied that to have received the service, even if it was not scheduled face-to-face. So after the interview, that usually can take approximately between 2 to 4 hours, as I said before, then the expert is going to provide you the confidential report and discuss with you by phone or Skype or in person, which are for him or her the most important recommendation in order to exploit your intellectual property. So question number 9, it is the final important rules for pending and request. Please keep in mind that, this is really important that you understand, that it has been established that each granted co-financing service, which means service 2 and service 3, will be for a unique European patent application process. So in other words, when we are going to select your application, this is just for one single European patent. So if as a company you have several patent application processes in the pipeline, if you want to receive financial support for all the patent application that you have, please keep in mind that you can receive it only by submitting several IP4SME applications has the number of the patent application process for which you are claiming financial support. You can apply different times during the same cutoff call date or in future ones. As an example, for example, I am a deal company who want to benefit from the service 2 and service 3 within IPA4SME, and I hope to receive financial support for 3 different patents. So if I want to receive financial support for 3 different patents, I must apply 3 different times. So I have to submit 3 different IPA4SME requests, and I can do this during the same cutoff call date or in future ones. Please keep in mind that the process for applying does not require more than 10 minutes the first time. But in case you decide to apply again because you want to receive financial support for a second European patent, when you're going to apply, all the information are already saved in the system. So for you, apply the second, third, or fourth time will be more and more easy and will not require more than few minutes. But again, if you want to receive a financial support for different patent application, European patent application, you must apply several times as the number of the patent for which you claim to receive financial support. Therefore, if you apply only one time, but the document that you provided contain information to more than one single patent, in this case, the documentation will not be allowed. This will disqualify the whole payment request. So, if you already applied, but you didn't know this, please apply again as many times as the number of the patent application, European patent application, for which you want to receive financial support. Thank you very much for following me. I hope that everything was fine. I'm going now to answer to all your questions. So first question from Ornella Basile. Mr. Ornella Basile, yeah, she's asking me if we are going to share with you as applicants the name and contact of the speaker, and the answer is that we are going to provide you and all the applicants information about the guide, the PowerPoint presentation, and also other important information. And then, as I said, explained to you before, we are going to provide you also the main contacts in case you have doubts, uncertainties, and you want to talk with us. Then, question from Mr. Stefan Yakelius. Sorry if sometimes I'm wrong your surname. He asking, can we choose the consultant for IP scanning ourselves? The answer is not. Please keep in mind that as regard to service 2 and service 3, you are free to select the IP pattern attorney that you want. The only important thing is that he or she must be a person entitled to act before a European Patent Office. As regard to service 1, you can proceed with the IP diagnostic service only with one of the experts we assign you. As regard to the assignation, the assignation slightly differ from the country of origin, because for some countries like Austria, Germany, Netherlands, for example, usually is the national IP office that is assigning directly an expert to the small medium enterprise. As regard to other countries like Italy, Sweden, Greece, for example, we are going to provide you directly the expert. Sometimes can happen that maybe the expert does not have strongly competencies in the invention that you want to promote through the IPA4SME program. In this case, please keep in mind that the nature of service 1 IP diagnostic service does not really require any in-depth, let's say, discussion about technical details of the intellectual property. So during the meeting, what the expert is doing is basically talking with you about general business model and discuss the various type of IP that may be of value from your company. So even if the expert seems not to have an extremely experience in the field of your experience, this does not represent a problem, because as I said before, the service is designed to provide you a suggestion in order to boost your business strategy in terms of IP and your business model, always in terms of IP. Then as regards another question from Mr. Stefan Yakelius, can we have the cost for IP scanning before applying for support? Again, I'm trying to explain you better. Service 1, that is IP diagnostic service or IP scanning, is free of charge. So you are not going to receive any reimbursement, as you are not going to provide us any payment. The cost is totally free of charge, and this is one of the reasons why the expert for completing the IP diagnostic service should be assigned from us, because we have an agreement with them, and according to the country of origin, each expert designed from the coordination center will receive a specific amount for each service provided. So again, the service one is totally free of cost, and we are not going to ask you any payment, as we are not going to reimburse you in any way. We are going just to provide you an expert, and then you are start to schedule a possible meeting to talk with him or her. At the end of the process, when the expert provided you the confidential report, he's going or she's going to tell us that the service is complete, and then is our purpose to proceed to reimburse the expert. As regard to service 2 and service 3, instead, you are going to receive the reimbursement only once we validated the documentation you provided us. That, as I said before, must be an invoices together with the corresponding proof of payment. A question from Ornella Basile. So, if I correctly understand, we can apply for all the service 1, 2, 3, right? Yes, sure. Please keep in mind that you are free to apply for all the services that you want during the same application. I mean that if, for example, I have one patent application, I can apply for all the 3 services, 1, 2, 3, as I can apply to only one, like for example, service 2, or just 2 out of 3. You are free to select to apply for all the services that you want. Again, just in the case you have more than one patent application for which you want to receive financial support, please keep in mind that only in this case, what you have to do is to apply, submit 2 different applications, and in each of the 2 applications in this example, you have to click on both service 2 and service 3. Because as I said before, each application is regarding only one patent application. But again, for each application, you can apply for all the services that you want. A question from Noemi Muria. Thanks for the presentation. Thank you for you. Then a company can apply directly to services of IP protection co-financing without applying to IP diagnostic. Yes, sure. It's not mandatory to complete or to apply for service 1, that again is the IP diagnostic service. Is not a mandatory to apply for this service if you want to benefit from service 2 or service 3, because different times can happen that in terms of business strategy, business model regarding the intellectual properties, a lot of company maybe already possess this information. So for this company, it's not important to benefit from service 1, but they want only to receive financial support within service 2 and service 3. So again, you are free to select all the services that you want. There is not any mandatory to apply all of them. Maybe as a company, I can be interested only to receive financial support for covering IP patent attorney. In this case, I will apply only for service 3 without considering service 1 and service 2. Again, as you wish, you can apply. Again, in case of any question, any doubts, any uncertainties, as I said before, we can contact us through calls at or using help desk at sign IPA4SME.eu. And this was from Miss Muria. The last question, I hope that everything was quite clear. And again, for any question, please contact us. We will try to do our best in order to satisfy to all your requests. It was a really pleasure. I really hope to see you again, but this time as beneficiary. And I really hope that you are in good health and have a great day. See you and bye.